We're here to equip you with insights for, well, our ever-changing world.
That's the goal.
And today, we're diving into something you might know from, say, tech startups or big company innovation labs.
Right.
The How Might We framework, HMW.
Exactly. But here's the interesting part, the twist, really.
Yeah.
We're not talking about optimizing an app today or, launching some new gadget.
Okay, so where are we taking it?
We're taking it out of the boardroom, basically. This deep dive is all about its surprising power, maybe even revolutionary power, when you apply it to public policy.
Public policy. And, like, community projects.
Precisely. Community initiatives, social good challenges.
Wow.
Bringing HMW firmly into the world, you could say?
Okay, I'm intrigued. So our mission today is to really unpack how this HMW thing can be, well, a potent tool for change, especially for those big, tricky civic problems.
That's it. And we've been looking into sources, discussing exactly that, how this framework fuels innovation, specifically in policy and community work.
Got it. So where do we start? Maybe with how things usually happen, the traditional way.
Yeah, let's do that. So traditional policymaking, it often kicks off focusing really heavily on the limits.
You mean like the budget's fixed, these regulations exist, this political agenda is set, that kind of thing.
Exactly that. You start with all the reasons you can't do something. And that kind of framing, well, it tends to stifle creativity right out of the gate.
Kills the vibe before you even start brainstorming.
Right. And maybe worse, it can really alienate the people the policy is supposed to help because they weren't part of defining the problem in the first place. Their perspective is missing.
It's like trying to plan a party by first listing everyone who can't come.
Yeah, something like that. It sets a negative tone.
So if the old way starts with no or we can't because, HMW flips that. It starts with possibility.
That's the core idea. It reframes challenges into opportunities.
But how does that actually work in practice? Beyond just positive thinking, what's the mechanism? How does it disrupt that slow, often rigid policy process?
Well, a key thing HMW does is it sort of forces a democratization of the ideas.
Democratization, meaning?
Meaning, instead of policy coming down from the top, HMW inherently shifts power. It brings in the people who live with the problem every day.
So the stakeholders themselves.
Exactly. Frontline workers, community residents, people using the service, they become co-creators.
That bypasses the usual layers of bureaucracy, the silos.
It can, yes. It creates a space for collaboration, for empathy, really understanding the lived experience, and for generating genuinely new ideas because you have that wider range of participants.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's break down the actual phrase. How might we, in this kind of social or civic context, what does each word really do? Let's start with how.
Right. How is crucial. It emphasizes that solutions are possible. It pushes you to explore methods, actions, ways forward, rather than just defining the problem and stopping. It's action-oriented.
Got it. Keeps the ball rolling. What about might? That seems like a small word, but important.
Oh, very important. Might is what makes it safe. It reduces defensiveness. It gives permission to suggest things that seem a bit out there, maybe even unconventional.
So it encourages experimentation. Like, it's okay if the first idea isn't perfect.
Exactly. It signals that we're exploring, not committing instantly. It takes the pressure off needing the right answer immediately.
And then the we, that feels pretty central, especially for community stuff.
Absolutely. In a civic context, we is maybe the most powerful part. It fosters collective ownership, shared responsibility.
So it's not just how might the government fix this, but how might we together?
Precisely. It brings everyone to the table as equals, as co-creators, not just recipients of whatever policy gets decided.
And that collective approach that you're saying, that lowers the barriers for people to actually join in and share their ideas.
Definitely. It makes it more inviting, less intimidating, and you get innovation from unexpected places because you've got all these diverse experiences in the room.
Okay, let's make this more concrete. Can you walk us through an example, maybe that public transit one?
Sure. So imagine a city's transport authority, right? They're struggling. Ridership is down, and there are big equity gaps. Some neighborhoods are served way better than others.
Familiar story, unfortunately.
Yeah. So their traditional problem statement might be something like, our routes are underutilized, ridership has fallen 15% year over year.
Okay, very factual. Very negative.
Exactly. It focuses on the negative metric, maybe implicitly blames the routes or the operations. It's a closed statement. doesn't invite solutions.
So how did HMW change that?
They reframed it. Their HMW question became, how might we make public transit the easiest and most empowering way to get around our city?
Oh, wow. That feels completely different.
Right. You feel the shift immediately. It moves from just the problem to the possibility, and crucially, it's user-centric. It's about the rider's experience, ease, empowerment.
That's a huge shift in perspective. So once they had that powerful question, who did they bring into the room? And what came out of it?
They put together a really diverse workshop. You had actual riders, transit drivers, city planners, community leaders, all working together.
Not the usual suspects talking amongst themselves.
Not at all. And from that mix, some really interesting user-focused ideas emerged. Things you probably wouldn't get from just planners.
Like what?
Well, ideas like on-demand micro-shuttles for lower-density neighborhoods where big buses don't make sense.
Okay, flexible.
Yeah. Or ride-along mentorship programs to help new riders feel comfortable navigating the system.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Addresses the intimidation factor.
Right. And even tech ideas like mobile payments through wearable devices, just making it seamless.
So did they actually try these things? What was the impact? Were there bumps along the road?
They did. They ran a rapid pilot of the micro-shuttles in one district, and the impact was pretty clear, a 25% ridership increase in that specific area.
Wow, 25%. That's significant.
It is. Now, were there hurdles? Absolutely. Integrating new tech, coordinating schedules for on-demand services, that stuff is always challenging logistically.
Sure. Implementation is never simple.
But because they'd had that strong community buy-in from the HMW process, they had more goodwill and collaboration to work through those issues. And just as important as the numbers, the qualitative feedback was huge.
What were people saying?
People, especially new riders, said they felt safer, more connected. They actually used the word empowered about their transit experience. It wasn't just about getting from A to B anymore.
That's a powerful outcome beyond just ridership numbers. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Another example. Maybe in social innovation.
Yeah, let's look at a nonprofit scenario. There was this youth services organization, and they were really struggling with volunteer retention. People would sign up, but then drop off quickly.
A common problem for nonprofits.
Yeah.
Keeping volunteers engaged.
Very common. And their initial question, the way they framed it internally, was, how can we reduce volunteer dropout rates?
Okay, sounds logical, but I sense a but coming.
Well, again, notice the negative framing, reduce dropout. That kind of question tends to lead to pretty superficial fixes.
Like what? Exit surveys. Better snacks at meetings.
Exactly. Exit surveys, maybe slightly better incentives. Things that kind of scratch the surface but don't really get at the core reason why people weren't staying. It didn't address their need for purpose, for meaning.
So how did they reframe it using HMW?
Their HMW question became, how might we make volunteering so meaningful that every volunteer feels like a change maker?
Feels like a change maker. That hits differently. Much more aspirational.
Totally. It shifts the focus from fixing a deficit dropout to building an asset, meaning impact.
So what kind of solutions did that question spark? What did they actually implement?
That question led them to develop something called impact circles.
Impact circles, what are those?
They were basically small groups, cohorts of volunteers who didn't just show up to do assigned tasks. They actually co-designed projects with the local youth they were serving.
Ah, so real collaboration and ownership, not just fulfilling a duty.
Exactly. Shared ownership. Building something together. Now, getting that off the ground, it wasn't easy. It required a pretty big shift in their organizational culture, moving away from top-down management of volunteers.
I can imagine. Empowering volunteers like that takes trust.
It does. But the results were, frankly, remarkable. Volunteer retention jumped by 40% in just 6 months.
40%, that's huge.
Huge. And beyond just staying longer, many volunteers started taking on new leadership roles within the circles and the organization. It showed a real shift in their engagement, their sense of impact.
That's incredible. It really shows the power of reframing the question to focus on meaning.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for listeners thinking, this sounds great, I want to try this, how do they actually do it? Is there a practical process we can share?
Yes, definitely. We can outline a sort of blueprint, a 6-step process for running a civic HMW sprint, let's call it.
Perfect. Lay it on us. Step one.
Step 1, stakeholder mapping. You got to figure out everyone who's affected or involved. Residents, nonprofits, local businesses, government officials, frontline workers, everyone.
Get the whole ecosystem in view. Okay, step 2.
Step 2, empathy research. This is crucial. You need to understand the diverse perspectives. So conduct listening sessions, do site visits, maybe use story circles, really listen to people's experiences.
Dig deep into the why behind the problem. Got it.
Step 3. Step 3, HMW generation. Now you bring those diverse stakeholders together in mixed teams. And the task is simple. Silently brainstorm as many HMW questions related to the challenge as possible. Aim for, say, at least 30 questions per team. Quantity over quality at this stage.
Did all the potential angles out there. Okay,
Yep.
Step 4.
Step 4, clustering and selection. Take all those generated HMWs, use affinity mapping, which is just a fancy way of saying group similar questions together, find the common themes. Then, as a group, vote on the top, maybe 3 HMW questions you want to focus on for now.
Narrow it down to the most promising avenues. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Step 5.
Step 5, ideation and prototyping. Now you focus on those chosen HMWs and brainstorm actual solutions. But critically, you develop low-fidelity prototypes. Quick, rough ways to test the idea.
Low fidelity. Like what?
Could be anything, really. Mocking up public meeting with a new format, role-playing a new service interaction, even just paper prototypes of, say, a new service kiosk or application form, quick and dirty testing.
Okay, tangible ways to see how an idea might feel or work. And the final step. Step 6.
Step 6, community testing and feedback. Take those rough prototypes out into the community, test them with small groups of the intended users, collect feedback, both quantitative stuff like maybe usage rates or task completion times, and qualitative insights.
The stories.
Exactly. The stories of change, the aha moments, the points of confusion, and then based on all that feedback, you iterate. You refine the prototype and test again.
It's a cycle. Learn, build, test, repeat.
Precisely. And throughout this whole thing, one key piece is documentation.
You mean writing everything down?
Yes, but not just the metrics, the numbers. Really make an effort to capture the personal stories of change, the qualitative stuff, because that often shows the true impact much better than just numbers can.
Right. The human element.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really helpful blueprint. But like any powerful tool, I assume there are ways this can go wrong. Common pitfalls.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're dealing with complex social challenges and diverse groups of people, one big pitfall is using overly technical language or jargon.
Ah, the expert speak.
Yeah, it can really exclude people, make them feel like they don't belong or can't contribute, especially in community settings where folks come from all different backgrounds and professions.
So the tip there is pretty straightforward.
Keep it simple. Use plain language. Meet people where they are. Ensure everyone feels comfortable understanding and contributing. It's fundamental to that we.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
What's another common pitfall?
Tokenism. This is a big one in community engagement generally.
You mean inviting people from the community just for show? Like ticking a box?
Yeah. Exactly. Inviting representatives, maybe putting them on a panel, but not actually giving them any real power or decision-making authority in the process. Their presence is symbolic, not substantive.
So how do you avoid that?
Yeah.
How do you ensure it's genuine collaboration?
The best remedy is to co-lead. Identify natural leaders or champions within the community itself and empower them to co-design and co-facilitate the HMW process alongside you.
So sharing the power, literally.
Yes. Build capacity within the community. Ensure power is truly shared, not just observed from the sidelines. That leads to much more authentic engagement and sustainable solutions.
That's a critical distinction. Okay, any final strategic tip for people thinking about using HMW for these kinds of challenges?
One useful strategy is to think about framing your HMWs at multiple scales.
Multiple scales.
Like, think about the problem at the neighborhood level,
Yeah.
then think about it citywide, and then think about it at the policy level. Frame HMW questions for each scale.
So you might get different kinds of solutions emerging.
Exactly. It helps you uncover more comprehensive, layered solutions that address the issue from different angles. You might need a neighborhood intervention and a citywide program and a policy change to really tackle it effectively. It encourages that kind of systems thinking.
That's a great tip. See, the problem from micro to macro. Okay,
But-
let's sort of bring this all together.
Sounds good.
So what we've really explored today is how might we framework, often seen in business, can be this powerful engine for transforming problems into possibilities in the civic space.
Yeah, it fosters that deep collaboration, brings in diverse voices, and ultimately drives more meaningful, human-centered change in policy and community work. It's fundamentally about shifting mindsets, not just finding answers.
Right. It changes how we approach the problem itself.
Precisely.
So as we wrap up, here's a provocative thought for you, the listener. Think about a social issue, a civic challenge, something in your community that you really care about.
Something that resonates personally.
Yeah. Now, try to reframe that issue. Instead of stating the problem, ask, how might we? What would your H&W question be?
And then take it a step further. Who would you need to bring into that we? Who would you involve to collaboratively explore solutions using this framework?
It's a powerful exercise. We really hope this deep dive has sparked some ideas, maybe some curiosity about applying this collaborative, possibility-focused approach.
Because the potential for positive impact is huge when we bring that curiosity and true collaboration to the table to face the challenges in our communities and, well, in society at large.
The possibilities, as HMW reminds us, are truly endless.
Let's go, open up your mind and grow. Facts and stories, things you never know. Every episode, we light the glow. Step into the world of Mass Show. Turn it up, let the rhythm flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Mass Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow. New ideas begin to shine. Breaking limits, crossing lines. Every moment feels divine. In the world of Mass Show time. Turn it up, let the rhythm flow. Feel the beat, take control. Don't be shy, just let it go. This is where the magic grows. Tune in now, it's the Mass Show. Lights up bright and minds will glow. Every day we learn and grow. Come along and join the flow.